Hi everybody, my name's Paul Tran. Welcome to Learning Unplugged, the place to come for acoustic music and acoustic learning. What we mean by acoustic learning is learning with no technology except the camera pointing at me right now. What we do on Learning Unplugged is we take a look at some simple, effective models that help us think and do things differently. So let's put the mandolin away. Today we're going to start off with a story. 36 years ago. Can you believe that? 36 years ago. I was a student doing the building sites in the summer. And one morning, the foreman came up to me and said, "Hey, Scouse, you plaster that wall for me." A pristine wall in a brand new naval base. So I said to him, "Hey, Dave, I've never done this before. Can somebody show me how to do this?" And he looked me in the eye, and I won't quote him verbatim, but he said, "Look, Scouse, you guys know how to flip and plaster a wall. Just flip and plaster the wall right now." Okay. So I got on with it. Water, plaster, mixed it up. Went everywhere, my face, my hair, my clothes, everything. And eventually I got some of it onto the wall. And then I stood back and admired my lovely work, which actually looked like one of those relief maps of a mountain range that we had in school in the old days. I could hang coats on this lovely wall. And that was the end of my working day. And as I was going home, I realised that I'd learned two things. One, I would never be a plasterer. And two, if I was ever going to lead or manage people, it'd be really important that I get delegation right. And what we're going to look at today, everyone, are some simple steps to make sure we can get our delegation on the right lines. So, first things first, is it the right task? Is it something that you can actually delegate? Make sure it's something that you don't have to do, for starters. The next step is that you get the right person. Was I the right person to plaster the wall? No. There would have been people there who could have done it. He just assumed I could because I was from Liverpool. That's not the right line of action in my view. Get the right person. Can they do it? Will they do it? Can and will they do it to the required standard in the required time? Get that right. And then we move on to the next step, which is brief them correctly. Did Dave brief me correctly? I'm not sure. He just said, "You're from Liverpool, plaster the wall." I was looking for instructions or maybe a bit of guidance or to watch someone do it first. What's important when you brief someone is that you give succinct, clear instructions as to what they need to do. Either tell them how they're going to do it or have a good discussion about it. And when the conversation's finished, they know exactly what they're going to do and how they're going to do it. You brief them correctly. The next step is that you monitor progress. Dave didn't monitor my progress. He left me alone. He would have got a surprise the morning after. By the way, in case you worried, I'd left. I didn't go back there. The best way to monitor progress is to have a discussion about it. How do you like being monitored? I've worked with some people who want to be handheld, maybe to a degree micromanaged. I've worked with lots of people who want to be left alone. But most people I've worked with, they want to be able to have a conversation to check in. So it's always good to let people know that you're going to monitor their progress, have a discussion about what's the best way to monitor that individual with that task. Tied in with that is another step. You support them where necessary. Do they need a conversation with you? Do they need some extra training? Do they need a bit of guidance? Or maybe something in writing or a diagram? Maybe they just need a bit of confidence boost. Make sure at some point you're there to support them when and where they need it. And then once they've done the task, it's important to have a bit of a review and a bit of feedback. If they've done a cracking job, give them praise in a way that makes them feel comfortable. If the job hasn't been that good, give them some feedback. But my big thing about feedback is that people really need to go away feeling good about themselves. So If the job hasn't been as good as you'd hoped, you talk about it being a one-off, about the good stuff they normally do, and the review is about how we found out how they did such a good job or how it didn't go that well. Always think about what went well, what would have been even better if at this point. And there's the stages to some really good delegation. Is it the right task? Are you delegating to the right person? Have you briefed them correctly? Are you monitoring their progress? Do you give them support where necessary? And is there a bit of review and a bit of feedback at the end? And if you follow those steps, your delegation will be on a really good solid footing. Give it a go. See how you get on. Let me know in the comments below how you got on. And if you want to have a look at more Learning Unplugged, take a look at the website ptps.co.uk or the YouTube channel Paul Tram Trainer. Stay safe, enjoy whatever you do, and I'll see you very soon.